ominous ass shit.
Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel of God, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. This is from the other night. I was on my way home, and of course they was doing fireworks and all that other stuff for the so-called 4th of July, but it was something different about this particular 4th. They was quiet all morning. Usually people start that shit like a week early, and we rarely was hearing fireworks out here. But like the day of the 4th of July, it was quiet. The morning time, it was quiet, wasn't shit going on, and by nightfall, it just became a whole total different world. It was crazy. Okay, now I checked the forecast, and it was cloudy earlier, and it looked to appear to clear up that evening, but like with some overcast. But when I was on my way home, as you see this video, even though this is from the fireworks, but I've never seen it this dark and gloomy. Like when I was driving home that night, I was like, wait a minute, something's off about this. It literally felt like I was going inside of a different dimension or something, because, the roads were dark, the fog was just crazy fog. But I'm like, this can't all be from fireworks, man. But then the Spirit was like, yeah, the Lord is getting ready to release a death angel out here. Because it felt like that driving through this shit. Like you just felt the spirit of dread and the spirit of destruction in the air. And for whatever reason, I believe, because this is the 250th year of America's anniversary, I believe this year they went even harder with the fireworks. So I believe that's why it was quiet that morning, and they just let their shit off nonstop for like 4 or 5 hours. And this is the result of it, which you felt the humidity in the air because of this shit. So I assume that this created some type of atmospheric condition to the point fog just started to ignite in the midst of these fireworks. But all this couldn't be from no fireworks, man. Because I've seen it out here before, and it get pretty, it get pretty gloomy on the 4th of July because everybody's letting shit off. But this was a different type of fog, man. And the Spirit was like, well, this is the 250th anniversary. This when empire started to go down. So that was all that was going through my head. I'm like, yeah, the Lord is getting ready to do something, man. And you felt the spirit of ominous. It was a very ominous spirit in the air that night, So anyway, this is what I mentioned. Just a quick little video.
This is some ominous ass shit, brothers. This is wild. I don't know if this is from fireworks or what fog lifted to, or something happened in the atmosphere, but this shit is nuts, man. I've never seen it this cloudy on a so-called fucking 4th of July. This is wild, bro. The Lord, this is a bad omen, man. The Lord finna really unleash the spirit on this place. I can feel it, but yeah, brothers, we almost out this bitch. Shalom. This is some ominous ass shit.
Yeah, and that was what was going through my spirit. I was like, yeah, this is there ain't something finna happen, man. This is the other video. And from the video, it don't look that, but it was just something very ominous about it, because a lot of the highways out here don't have working lights. So just imagine driving through this shit in the dark. It was like we was going through a tunnel or something. It was wild. Like you had to be there to experience it. And some areas was worse than other areas. Like the southern half of Kansas City, it was pretty bad out there. But going like north, it wasn't too bad. But that's a very, very ominous spirit. So I got this article here. It says the average empire survives 250 years. Is America's death at the door? And I say yes. Okay, this place has been falling ever since after World War II, when Esau, he's never been able to come to that preeminence of rulership anymore, because after World War II, things started to go down rapidly. The decaying, the mindsets of the people, the laws, the legislation, the certain political movements, it's all worked against this devil. Okay, the food systems, the economy, things are collapsing. But it says, studies show that an empire survives on an average of a mere 250 years. It says, did you know that But to put it into context, the world's oldest person recently died at 124 years. So she lived nearly half as long as most empires do. It says most Americans are unaware of this small but crucial statistic, which may suggest much about our country's future. It says it is past time for Americans to confront the painful reality that our time as a world superpower may be limited. And this was back in 2021, during the midst of the pandemic. So we've come roughly 5 years from this date. Look at the state of the world now. Okay, the Strait of Hormuz jammed up. You got energy crisis. You got moral instability, wars. Okay, you got fucking civil wars. This world is burning right now. You got a heat wave in Europe. Economy is degrading by the second. Jobs are being lost. Okay, the people are bugging out, man. So, hey, we close. But it says that our time as a world superpower may be limited, and it is time to explore how to slow down what frankly is an inevitable at some point, that the United States global domination will not persist indefinitely. This may be difficult to grasp and accept, but it has never been true for any civilization in the past, and it will never be true for any society in the future. Like Rome went down, Rome fell, so was America. And he's talking about we have to slow the decaying. You're not going to slow it down because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that's not his purpose to slow it down. If anything, is the Lord's will to accelerate this coming destruction, because, hey, the Lord is tired of looking at this place, man. And, hey, we are too. Okay? It says, as we consider historical empires, it's worth noting that the vast majority of Americans do not regard the United States as an empire in a classical sense, despite the fact that many people throughout the world do. However, the purpose of this column, United States, although being a modern in every meaning of the word, does indeed qualify as an empire, and it is an empire. It's a kingdom. Okay? That's in the book of Daniel. And we'll get that. It says, since World War II, the United States have been primarily concerned with spreading democracy, which it does not, and freedom across the world, which in fact, this is nothing more but a communism with a fucking computer, man. Okay, it's all it is a bunch of oligarchs and communists promoting a so-called democracy, which is not a democracy, which is the people's rule. But it says, spreading democracy and freedom across the world, seeing itself as sort of a global liberator. But in reality, the U.S. maintains over 800 military outposts and special operations groups spread around the globe. It reads, this is critical considering the determining where the United States belong in the pathogen of the former empires, since like it before it has been primarily interested in extending influence and power. It says this is not something that I mean as a criticism, but rather as a contextual point. But however, it is an overreach in the pursuit of continuous power and influence that frequently leads to empires dwindling, albeit slowly. So in 2026, the United States of America, founded in 1776, will celebrate its 250th anniversary, which was Saturday. We're rapidly nearing the 250th anniversary of the fall of the most previous civilizations, but with ongoing internal turmoil ranging from race to financial disparity to political tribalism, and other countries gradually putting away from the orbit of the U.S.-led supremacy, it may appear that the tides are turning against us. He says, I fear that this mere statistic may soon become a reality that alters the course of our lives, man. And everything is already changed with this fucking race for AI. Okay, that's the big thing now, AI. Games going digital now. They're not selling physical copies after maybe a year or so. It's accelerating. It says, after all, many citizens and politicians will celebrate our downfall, not realizing the perilous impact it will have on the freedoms they believe they do not have. But I am not sure it will be a huge international conflict, but a financial catastrophe or a civil war that causes the United States to fall apart. But I do believe that learning from the past is critical if we are to slow down the inevitable. Well, you're not going to slow it down because it's not prophecy, man. I mean, it's not prophecy for it to slow down. You see? So anyway, let's get a precept real quick. Close that out. It's the book of Daniel 7. And let's start at verses 7. It says, and after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast. That's the Roman Empire. This is the current empire. We're under the fourth beast right now. We're under this fourth beast, or this fourth kingdom, as prophesied in the scriptures. Dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. It had great iron teeth. That's the military. Okay, you read that they have over 800 military outposts in different countries, and this is why parts of those countries out there in the so-called Middle East, they want America out. Okay, they want the small hats out, and this is why they're joining militaries now. Okay, Israeli, U.S.-led military, which is prophetic. But it says here, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns. Yeah, the EU, which goes into 28, 29 nations, I believe. Maybe more now. But it all goes back to those 10 nations, man. Okay? And it says diverse for all the other beasts, because the military, and on top of that, you got the political systems. Like the Roman Empire, you had the plebeians and the patricians, which was, and you know, you had your independents, just like you have the Republicans and you have the Democrats today, which are all political parties that's set to play on the psyche of the people, but yet there's never really any change. Okay, the politician, or the what do you call it, the bipartisan system, or the political system of the Democrats and Republicans were put together by oligarchs, man. And that's that false sense of democracy. So, hey, if you look at MAGA now, MAGA is pretty much dispersing because they realize that this dude Trump gave him a well-generated lie, because everything he mentioned prior to him becoming the president back last year, or when he was inaugurated last year, he broke every promise to the so-called American people. And now MAGAs are like, fuck this dude, man. I mean, you still got a few supporting him, but Trump's approval rating is damn near, what, 30-some%? He's going down as the worst president in history. You know, even Biden. You know, Biden was just stupid. You know, he was just declining cognitively. But, you know, Trump, he just deliberately jacking his place up, man, because he has orders to do so. And that's what people don't understand, which proves that this is not a democracy, by the way. And it says, and I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them a little horn, whom, it says, before whom were 3 of the first horns plucked out by the roots. And behold, this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. That little horn is America, man, because you had the British, the French, and the Spanish. Okay, and then America come up out of the British, so to speak, because when you go into the Book of Revelation, it goes into he is of the 7th, but even the 8th, and they go into perdition. That little horn is America, man. You know, the whore. And it reads, and I beheld till the thrones were casted down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, which is the Most High, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like the pure wool, which he had a woolly afro, and his throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. Okay? And it says here, and a fiery stream issued and came forth before him. Thousands and thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him, and judgment was set, and books were opened. And I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, which is this system here, I beheld even to the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given into the burning flame, which is the nuclear missiles. So this place is on a verge of destruction, and the 4th of July proved that. Okay, these people were letting shit off like on a whole nother level out here, and I've never seen it. I've never heard it that way, man. I mean, it was so bad to the point that in areas that they wasn't even doing fireworks, it was cloudy. It was like a thick, cloudy smoke. And I suspect most of it was from the fireworks, but something was going on in the atmosphere too. You know, because you just felt the thickness of it. You know, but it could have been all that smoke coming down from the skies too. You know. And it says here, and it's concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. And I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like unto the Son of Man, which is Yahushua, come with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him a dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages shall serve him. And his dominion is an everlasting dominion, which should not pass away, and his kingdom that which should not be destroyed. So the kingdom of heaven is going to be set up for eternity. Think about how beautiful that's going to be once this place falls, because this place is the only bridge that's stopping us from the kingdom. The kingdom is right. Once this place falls, the kingdom of heaven sets up, and we're very close, man. We're Okay, with this technocracy, with this rush for AI, they want to microchip everybody by 2030. The elites are moving quick. You know? I'm going to go down here. Matter of fact, let's keep reading. And I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. And I came near unto them that stood by and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made me known the interpretation of the things. And it says, and these great beasts which are four kings which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. So once this place fall, this is the gateway between us and the kingdom. So as long as this place stands, we can never get the kingdom. But that's why the Heavenly Father is accelerating the downfall, because hell, we are already getting ready to be in the second week of July. Well, yeah, the second week, pretty much going into the second week of July. It's crazy. And then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire, which includes this system, which was diverse from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron and his nails of brass, which devour, break in pieces, and stamp the residue with his feet, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, which is the Spanish, the British, and the French. Even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. That's DJ, man. You know? And it says, and I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. Yeah, because slavery. All right, they put us in captivity and they overthrew us. And now look at us. We're under their dominion. And until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints should possess the kingdom. And thus he said, the fourth beast should be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which should be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and should tread it down and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. That's the EU. And another shall arise after them, and he should be diverse from the first, and he should subdue 3 kings. And it says here, you know, and it says, and he should speak great words against the Most High, and should wear out the saints of the Most High. And that word "wear" goes into harass. We'll constantly wear out with this system, bro. The foods, the medical systems, the jobs, the people, the women. I mean, women are longest bitter in this world, man. All right, the health issues, you know, the working 9 to 5. Sometimes brothers working 60, 70 hours a week. You know, it's worry to the spirit. And should change times and laws, and should be given into his hand into a time and dividing of times. But the judgment shall sit, and they should take away his dominion, to consume it, to destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven should be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, which are the Israelites, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall obey and serve him. And this is the time we're coming into, and this is why Esau is scrambling so hard, because he wants to prolong his kingdom, but that's not what Yahweh Shai has in store. All right. Scriptures go into how Satan fell from heaven. It's lightning. It's the book of Luke 10 and 18. It says, and he said it to them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Yep. And that's talking about rulership. It ain't talking about that spiritual demon Satan was kicked out of the heavens by the Most High. This is talking about a kingdom. Because it says here, behold, I give you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing by any means shall hurt you. Notwithstanding in this, rejoice not that the spirits are subjected to you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven, man. All right, that's when we get that power. Let's go here. Revelation 20, and let's start at verses 4, and it says here, 3, and it says, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. We're in that little season right now. Okay, from the time of the end of the Byzantine Empire to the Renaissance, roughly 1490s up until this point has been a Renaissance period, which has been what, 1592, 1692, 1792, 1892, 1992. Yeah, so roughly it's been 500 plus years, man. You know, 500 plus. It's a little season, and we're seeing him decline rapidly, man. All right. But other than that, this place ain't got too much long to go. But I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you will edify. To the next lesson. Shalom.